Okay, so today I'm going to talk about something that really bothers me, and that is school. Well, a very specific part of school. I'm thinking about making this a series, actually, because there are so many things wrong with school. Today I'm going to talk about motivation. This is my opinion as a high schooler, and I'm sure that my thoughts were a little different throughout, but this is how I'm thinking about it now in my life. Schools tend to assume that all students are inherently lazy and don't want to work. That's not true at all, and projecting that image onto the students is incredibly harmful. Students, more often than not, are naturally curious, especially in the younger grades. I mean, I know that when I was 8, all I wanted to know was, like, everything. Really, the thing is that you don't have to push kids to learn. They want to learn. You just have to teach them about the right things. And you have to teach them in the way that they want to learn. Their problem is that when you try to force it on them, it makes it less appealing and it makes them less likely to want to listen to you. When you're nasty about it, no matter what you're being nasty about, whoever you're being nasty to isn't going to take it well. For the most part, kids just want to fulfill their own natural curiosity. By assuming that you have to force it on them, it's really harmful. The issue is that assuming students don't want to learn is forcing blame for something that isn't actually there on the students. You don't have to blame them for having a flaw that they don't have. And honestly, if someone doesn't want to learn about biology, that's not a flaw, that's just an interest that they have. Here's the thing, most students, when they go into school, at least for the first time, when they're little, they don't expect that they're gonna not want to learn. They go in there wanting to learn things. They don't want to rebel against the teachers and not learn these things. They're curious. They want to know how the world works. By assuming that someone is a lost cause because of their background or their attitude or their interests, that's causing a lot more damage than one might think. If a student is told over and over again why they have to do something as if they wouldn't do it in the first place, that's like saying, hey you, we know you're never gonna do anything, so we're resigning ourselves to forcing you to do it. That's so harmful! Students, like everyone else, are motivated by interests. That's just how it works. If I'm not interested in biology, I'm not going to have a great time in it. Granted, I understand that everyone has to do biology, but you could at least connect it to something that would make it seem more interesting to me. Students are very motivated when they're learning about something they're interested in. The problem is that schools don't utilize that when the students' interests aren't scholarly enough. Scholarly is in quotation marks. There's this whole concept of what you're meant to be learning. The problem, though, is that when you come into this world, it's to learn what you need to, and you can learn your basic skills like comprehension and critical and creative thinking through pretty much anything as long as you're interested in it enough to pay attention. Pretty much anything that someone is interested in could be worked into the curriculum in some way. The idea that school has to be difficult, boring, and irritating is wrong. There's this stigma that if the learning is fun, it's not really learning or it doesn't count. That's not true in the least. And not even just for the really brainy kids who are interested in scholarly things. If you're interested in theater, then by all means study plays, study how the lighting works, study what it takes to make a good show. But that is still learning. That is valid and that is interesting and that is giving you life experience, so I don't understand why schools don't think that is valid. I mean, in doing a theater class where you say write a play and then produce it, there's so much to be learned there. You can learn budgeting, you can learn stage direction, you can learn people skills, all of the things that you need to go out in the world to interact with other people, to learn how to take charge of situations. Those kinds of things can be learned through producing, creating, writing, directing a play. Knowing how to interact with people and knowing how to take charge without seeming bossy is an incredibly important skill when you're out in the workforce. Whereas only a fraction of jobs need you to know calculus. Like, really? The teachers are always saying, oh, you'll need to use this, it's important. If you become an engineer, you're gonna need to know how to do calculus. But what if I don't want to be an engineer? What if what fascinates me is filmmaking? Like right now, I'm making a film, and there are so many YouTubers whose jobs are filmmaking. There are filmmakers who, they don't use calculus on a daily basis. The idea that in order for a career to be valid, it has to use calculus or science of some kind is ridiculous and degrading, because there are so many professions out there, so many wonderful, brilliant people who never took calculus, who don't use it even if they did take it. There are so many professions that don't need the kinds of skills that school seems to think needs to be forced on everyone. And that's about it. So, thank you for watching, thanks for listening to me rant, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will love you forever and ever. Thanks for watching, bye!